All right. Triangle has these side lengths. Is it a right triangle? And what you essentially are doing is seeing if a squared plus b squared does equal c squared. So there's not really a lot to it except for to check if that's true. You're always going to be putting the two shorter values as the legs and the longest value as the hypotenuse. And let's just do some little calculations here since you'll have your calculator. 27 squared is 729. 79 squared, 6241, 6,241. And I guess really I should say, I should have a little question mark here. Is it equal? And let's see, about 84 squared is 7,056. And so let's take those two numbers and add them together. Nope, they're not. We get 6,970 Sorry, I had to undo that. I wrote it wrong. 6,970 does not equal 7,056. Nope. So we would say, no, they are not equal. And where do you see that? That's D. They're not equal. Let's do that again. Triangle has side lengths of 24, 143, and 145. So we say 24 squared plus 143 squared. And does that equal 145 squared? Does it? So let's just calculate it. We got 24 squared, 576, plus 143 squared. Gosh, is that right? I guess that's right. 20,449. And let's see. Those two together equal 21,025. I'm just going to write that down. And then we got 145 squared. And that is 21,025. Yep, equal. So we say they are equal. Yes, because they are equal. Okay. A couple of them are obviously wrong. Like if we look at the answers, it says no because they're equal. That wouldn't B wouldn't be true. Or C, yes, because they're not equal. Those just logically don't even make sense. So you're looking for the one where it says either yes because they are equal, if they are, or no because they're not, if they're not. Now we have, and these are giving you three measures, and we're saying is it right, is it acute, or is it obtuse? So if 12 squared plus 35 squared equaled 37 squared, that would be a right triangle. So let's first see what we get there. 12 squared, 144. Could do that one in my head. 35 squared, 1,225. And 37 squared, 1,369. And if we add them together, we get 144 plus 1225, 1,369. They are equal. And hopefully you know this, that when they are equal, we have a right triangle. Okay? Moving on, We're going to take these lengths that they gave us of 23, we'll square that, 6, we'll square that, we'll add them together, and 28, and we'll square that. Let's see, 23 squared, 529, plus 36, and 28 squared, 784. And let's add 529 plus 36, and we get 565 and 784. How do they compare? Well, this is bigger. The hypotenuse length is bigger. And so I'm going to make a little illustration here. Let me use our little drawing tool here. If we had a triangle and it was a right triangle, like that, those numbers would be equal. How does the hypotenuse, and let me just move this in a little bit to kind of square them up. Okay. Well, how do we get the hypotenuse being longer than those two? Well, what we would need to do is we need to essentially keep those two the same, but increase the length of the hypotenuse, right? So then what you're doing is you're saying those two side lengths as they originally were are the same, but now the hypotenuse gives you a bigger number because that hypotenuse is longer than what it would need to be a right triangle, in which case once it's longer, it's pushing them into obtuse angle territory. So those are, when the hypotenuse is bigger, it extends that hypotenuse length out, pushing those sides, the other two sides, into an obtuse angle. That's the idea here. If it's not equal, then either the hypotenuse is shorter, and if the hypotenuse was shorter, you could see, what if we shorten that down? What would that do to those sides that are supposed to stay the same? Well, they would have to shorten down accordingly, right? That. Then that would be acute. But if the number for the hypotenuse is longer, then what that means is that those sides, which are staying the same length, suddenly get pushed out like that. Hopefully you get that. If you don't, I can talk you more through it, but it's the main idea.